Welcome everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome the Zoomers, and we will get cracking with our Thursday functional movement class. Today we're going to continue working on the stuff that we've been practicing, balancing, squatting, a little bit of pushing. I want you to focus on or be aware of the idea of building strength in the body, but also combining that strength with flexibility. It's all well and good to be strong, but we need some flexibility and fluidity through that strength. So if you take strength and flexibility and combine those two things together, you're creating resilience. So if you bear that in mind as we're working through the session today, we'll start off with our mobilization. So with some knocking, feet shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend in the knees, tall through the spine. So we're working through that, we're rotating through that spine, the rotational through the spine, and just knocking on the belly and on the back of the body. The idea of just loosening up joints, mobilizing the joints, creating a strong but flexible spine in particular. We have that little bit of bend in the knees so that we're not locking out the knees. So we're not putting excess stress through the knee. Being very grounded through the foot, through the feet. And moving from the hips and the waist with the upper body light. Relaxing the shoulders, just letting the shoulders go. Upper back. And breathing easy, just naturally in and out through your nose. Just looking in the direction that we're rotating. And now just look over the shoulder, maybe slow it down a little bit, just to give that little bit of extra rotation. So just looking behind you. So we're challenging our balance here, our vestibular balance. So don't make yourself too dizzy, but just go with it a little bit, just so that you get that sensation that you can look behind, keep balanced. And then slow it down into water waves. So it's just like you're brushing your hands through water in front of you and behind you. Do you brush your hands through water? What do you do with your hands in water? Moving your hands through water in front and behind. Still keeping the shoulders relaxed, elbows soft. Think of strength through the feet into the ground, and then this flexibility, this fluidity as you're rotating around the spine and through the hips, through the knees, through the ankles. Slow it down. Come up to standing. thinking of our push challenge, palms come up to chest height, and then you're going to push out to the side. So really strong push out to the side. And then pull back in. So you're just pulling your arms back in. We're going to add a little bit of rotation. Then you're going to push forwards and backwards. So really straighten the arms, strengthen the arms, extend the fingers, and then soften and pull back in. As you pull back in, you rotate again, and then you push in the other direction. I actually got a little crunch through my elbow there. And then pull back in soft there, and then push forwards. So really strong through the arms. You don't need any resistance in front of you. You can use your internal strength to push. And then we push out to the side. So push nice and strong, breathing easy. And then soften the arms, pull back into center, push front and back. Soften, come back into center, and then rotate again. So notice I'm working through the hips as well. Push, front and back, pull back in, and then it's like you're pushing a big heavy cloud away in front of you. So push, stretch the fingers, stretch the arms, pull back in. Do that again. So out to the side, push, pull back in, rotate, push, pull back in, rotate, push, pull back in, push forwards, pull back in. Let's do one more. Push, nice and strong, but there's still a softness in that strength. And then pull back in. There's a power in the push rather than a forceful push. So push, breathing easy. Pull back in. Push. Pull back in. And then push forwards. Pull back in. Soften the arms down to the side. Step your feet in, just balance for a moment. So about hip width, connect to the ground, and then lift tall to the sky. Just follow a few breaths, let the breath settle. And then step back out, a little bit of bend in the knees. In fact, a little bit more bend in the knees. We'll do our spinal cord breathing. So breathing in, lifting the sternum towards the sky, tucking the pelvis, breathing out, squeezing. And then breath in, breath out. Just easy breathing in and out through the nose. In, out, in, so we're tilting the pelvis, spilling out the front there, tucking the pelvis underneath. Opening, lifting, and then curling up into a little ball. Following the breath, go at your own comfortable pace as well. So the breath should be light. So I'm not pulling loads of air into the body, I'm just breathing naturally, just the amount of air that I need, but it should be slow and smooth with the movement. And this is helping to strengthen the legs, strengthen the spine, but also get some movement and some flexibility through the hips and the legs and the spine and the shoulders. Let's do 2 more of these. And then come up to standing. Just give yourself a little bit of a shake. Just tapping the heels into the ground. Letting the shoulders go. Letting the base of the neck go, that cranial base. Just let that relax and go with that vibration. And then you can bring your arms into it. And you can take a few fuller breaths in. So we'll breathe in. Full breath in through the nose and just sigh out. Just letting go of any tightness and tension in the body. Breath in. And letting go of any stress, anything that's been annoying you. And one more breath in. And any emotional stress, just release and let go. And then slow it down. Come back to standing, just to balance again. Feel that tingling sensation you may feel in the fingers, in the legs. And the breath just soft into the belly. Step back out, we'll do our hip mobility before we move into our squats and a bit more of our balance and strength stuff. So just about a comfortable shoulder width apart, big hip circles. So we're going outside of the hips, legs straight, pushing the hips forwards, rotating back. And as we go back, keeping the upper back, or keeping the back long, so you get that nice lengthening of the hamstrings. So it's almost like you've got a little balloon on your tailbone that's just lifting that up. So you're hinging from the hips rather than bending at the waist. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And then we'll go in the other direction. You may be getting some clunks and some clicks and some creaks. But obviously if you're getting any pain, any sharp pain, then just stop. Don't push any of these stretches or any of these flows or any of these movements. Just take it easy, just be kind to your body. The research will show that moderate exercise, not killing yourself exercise, is where you get all of the benefits from. So it's not soft exercise or all the stuff that we're doing. You're building strength and we're building resilience through adding flexibility to that strength. One more big circle. And then we'll go to a wide stance. So whatever is your comfortable wide stance. So we're sitting on a horse. So you've got that tailbone very subtly tucked. So we can do that small internal circle. So we just use the big outside of the hips. Now we're going on the inside of the hips. So nice and easy. tall through the spine. This is where I can really feel a very subtle movement in the feet as well. So particularly in the heels, because you've got a little bit more weight through the heels. So it's almost like you're circling the heels, but they're obviously connected to the ground. But you're almost like drawing little circles with the heels as well. And watch the knees. So there'll be some rotation, very subtle rotation through the knees to keep you in that position. If the knees are tight, you'll be pulling on the knees. So you're getting this really nice, very small, subtle spiraling movement through the hips and the knees and the heels and the feet. Let's go in the other direction. One direction always feels different to me in the other direction. So you may be lucky that it's exactly the same. But none of us are balanced exactly the same side to side. So stuff like this is just good to bring awareness to where you maybe hold that little bit of tightness, tension, and where you can just be aware of that and let go and release that, any blockages a little bit more. A couple more in this direction. And then just safely walk your feet together. And this is where you might need a good shake of the legs, shake out the legs, shake out the ankles, get some nice vibration going through the leg, the lower leg, the ankle, the thigh, the knee. And then we balance and we do our leg swing. So remember, focusing on that stabilizing side, creating the movement to swing the opposite leg across and then out. And on this, it's less is more. Just do it, just keep it nice and easy, sort of like an effortless swing. The idea is that this free leg is exactly that. It's just free, it's just swinging there. And you're using the opposite leg to drive the swing. And then if you're getting the hang of it, you can maybe lift a little bit higher with that swing leg, keeping tall through the spine. Zoomers are looking good there. Nobody's fallen over. Couple more. And then step down and rest. Feel the hips working. Give them a little bit of a shake again. Let's come back to shoulder width apart and dog wags the tail. So remember, we're shifting hips side to side. I'm not dropping hips side to side. It's like I'm just shifting my weight, shifting my weight, shifting my weight, and then you let the spine follow. So hips lead, spine and head follows. Particularly head and neck. So again, strength through the legs, and then flexibility through the spine. and slow it down. Take a stand for a moment before we move into our tiger. Then when you're ready, step back out. Remember, we have strength through the claws. The tiger is clawing here. Strength through the claws, strength through the shoulders, through the back, strength through the legs as you just drop down. Just go to a comfortable space, comfortable depth, and then soft back up, shoulders relaxed. Come up to tall standing. Stand tall, and then again strong, strong, strong. Push through the heels, come up to standing. So all I'm doing is lowering my pelvis, lowering my sits bones towards the ground, not tilting forwards. So the tilt is a natural response to lowering my tailbone towards the ground. And I come back up to standing, stand tall, straighten the legs. Back down. Standing back up, breathing easy. As you go down, weight a little bit more through the heels. Really use the heels, really use the floor and the heels to push you back up to standing. Back down. Breathing should be easy. No tension in the face. Tension, use the tension, use the strength through the hands and the fingers. Face can be relaxed. Two more. Gradually, if it feels comfortable for you, you can increase the depth, but again, we're not pushing, we're not forcing. And then come to standing. Should be breathing easy, not out of breath, not out of control. And just balance for a moment. And then we'll do some single leg balance. Stabilize, I'm going to mirror you so we stabilize on the right side. And then you lift your left knee, left elbow, standing tall. This hand connecting to the ground. So palm down. And then we swap. We step out, softly land, cushion the landing, swap sides. So this elbow connects to this knee, palm on the ground. Soft landing, tall, stand tall. Soft landing, stand tall. Straighten that support leg. Soft landing, stand tall. Keep going, that's good. Smooth, fluid movement, strong movement, strong legs. Couple more. and then rest there. Couple of pointers on that one, showing you from the side. When we step down and you're here, just watch that you're not, again, coming into this position that you're bending from the waist. You're actually hinging from the hip. So we're still keeping tall through the spine, so you're getting that little bit of single leg squat, and then you come up to standing. So you're literally doing a nice hinge at the hip. So that's really working that support leg to actually come up to standing. If we're doing this, then you're putting a lot of pressure on the spine. We want to be working that hip. The other thing to watch, which I always find you want to do, is like this. So then that puts you off balance. So if you really rotate the shoulder in so that your elbow is over the knee, it's a nice strong line. So it's easier to balance than this. So set the shoulder down, bring that elbow into balance. So just a couple of little pointers to watch on that. Give yourself a little bit of a shake out. We'll do a combination now, or a similar type of balance. So we'll balance from here. So I'm mirroring you, you stabilize on the left leg. Now what we'll do is, from here, just step back. So you're stepping back now with your right leg, and then we're going to lower this hip down. So I've stepped back from there, and then I'm lowering down, and I'm going to swap my arm. So I'm just going to swap arms to come to that side, and then I'm going to step up again. So I'm stepping back, lowering down, and then stepping up. Now, you don't have to go really deep on this, so it could just be stepping to there and just there. So the key is that we're not crunching down, that you're using this hip. So you're stepping down, lowering down, balancing back up, stepping down. So you really feel this hip working. Again, just do a little bit. So even if you just go to here, that is fine. Step up, step back, ball of the foot on the ground, don't wobble over like I just did. Step up, step down, step up, and then take a stand. Shake your legs out, feel it in that hip, let your breath settle. And then we go on the other side. So knee, elbow, and then you're stepping back, and then you're stepping up, tall up. Step back, step up, step back. Keep tall through the spine, step up. If you can go a little bit deeper, that's fine. Stepping back, step up. You know what I'm going to say, if you lose control of the breath, if you're struggling with the movement, if you're trying to survive the movement, then you've gone a little bit too far. The idea is that we're working this single leg squat or single leg balance, so really working that hip. Couple more. Good. And then rest there. Shaking out the legs, shaking out the legs. Coming to shoulder width apart. A little bit of bend in the knees. And we'll just finish off with some nice big arm circles, pulling down the sky. Just bringing our body back to balance, centering ourselves. Nice slow breath in. through the nose. Crossing the hands, resting the hands just below the belly button, bringing the feet together. Tall through the spine. If you're comfortable to close your eyes just for 30 seconds. And then take a nice full deep breath in through the nose. Top of the breath, open your eyes, and then sigh out a stretch or a reach or a shake, giving your hands a little bit of a rub, just brushing the body down, brushing down the back of the legs. Your legs have done loads of work today. Front of the legs, a little bit of tapping the hips, and we will finish there. Great, good work. Lots going on again today. Few things coming up over the weekend. Tomorrow, if you haven't registered, the Lunch and Learn is with Andrew Ritchie, who will be talking about heart rate variability. Loads of interesting stuff on that. So do join the Lunch and Learn for heart rate variability at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Saturday, I've got my men's health workshop, and I've also got the push challenge. So all of those of you who are doing the push challenge, there's that free workshop for you on Saturday as well. So plenty to keep us going over the weekend. If you can't make any of the weekend sessions, then hopefully I will see you next Tuesday for the breath work. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and have a great rest of the day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you all. I'll send you those links as well, just in case you didn't get it, to the lunch.